What's going on, guys? So, it's a new year. We're talking my favorite subject, some blue fragrances, and I do update this list from year to year, and it has changed. There is some fragrances that have changed. Actually, the majority of the list has changed because there's some good stuff that's come out and or stuff that I've gotten in the last year that I just think kind of outweighed some others. So, super versatile. Most of them really good performers, smell great, work in every situation. I love a good blue fragrance. So let's talk about these 10. Stay tuned. Starting with one of the best bargain blue fragrances you can get that doesn't smell as cheap as it is. You can get it in the $30 to $40 price point. It is Rochas L'homme. So this kind of has a little bit of that aromatic, juniper berry heavy, geranium minty fresh kind of smell that Dolce & Gabbana K has. Now, before you go saying, hey, I don't like K, because that's a lot of people that feel that way, this took that and did it right. Reworked it, added some depth. There's some greens, a little bit of fresh spice. There's a strong woody presence here. This is a much better fragrance through and through. It's got a fuller smell to the aroma, like it's a thicker aroma overall versus the K DNA. So I relate because the top is a little bit similar, but this is a better fragrance through and through, start to finish. Super, super versatile. You can wear this casually. Fantastic work scent if you're in an office setting. Great in the evenings. It's signature scent worthy. It's one of the best blue fragrances you can spend your money on, and it's a straight up bona fide cheapie in the $30 to $40 price point from discounters online. Even if you find it in the $40 to $50 price point, don't feel like you need to search any lower because that's still a great price point at what you're getting. The quality's pretty good here. The performance is above average. It's very easy to like. It's super easy to wear. It's one of the best blue fragrances you can get. Check it out this year if you haven't yet. Rochas L'homme. Next, we're going to take a look at a niche fragrance that most people would say is just an expensive designer. And I can understand where they're coming from because of the synthetics used here, a lot of ambroxan and stuff like that. But it's nuclear. It's easy to wear your nose out to Parfums de Marly Percival, the ultimate version of the Abercrombie and Fierce scent DNA. The Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce scent DNA. I don't know why I got tongue twisted there. 3 to 4 sprays. All I need. This 75 ml is going to last me a long time. So good. Has that freshness, a little bit of fruity smell to it to add a little bit of sweetness. It's a little soapy clean from the ambroxan. A lot of freshness here. There's a nice fresh spicy tone. It's a little soft and powdery. And the spice here is like a woody spicy tone is what I get from it. Like I said, it's going to remind you of Fierce. It's going to remind you of Mont Blanc Legend. But it is the ultimate version of those fragrances. In my opinion, of course. Yes, you can get away with Mont Blanc Legend for cheap. You can always go with Fierce if you want to stick with that original. But if you're looking for the strongest performer, best smelling of the group, it's going to cost more. But there's a reason. This is worth more, in my opinion. The versatility is still there, though be wary if you're in a closed quarter situation and you don't want to fill a room. Because for me, at 4 sprays, this fills a room. It is that spray that I just did has engulfed this airspace. It is super strong. It is all I smell with every breath I take through my nose. If you're looking for a monster performer and you're looking for hyper versatility, that's very much so a compliment getter, which is kind of the MO for a lot of blue fragrances. You might want to get a sample and try this one out and see if it's full bottle worthy for you. It's Parfums de Marly Percival. Now, this is a newer release from one of my favorite, more affordable Middle Eastern houses, and it's kind of like it encompasses a lot of blue fragrances. I get a little bit of Bleu de Chanel on the top. I get a little bit of YSL. I've been told Afternoon Swim minus the musk. Shout outs to my man RXL. There's a few different fragrances that you'll get from this. But I'm talking about Afnan 9 a.m. Dive. It goes in and out of stock because it sells pretty quick. I gave this a 9 out of 10 in my first impressions video. I haven't spent a ton of time with it because at the recording of this, we're right smack dab in the middle of winter. I mean, it was snowing today at the recording of this. But I got to tell you guys, it smells awesome. For being a more synthetic blue, the quality is actually pretty good here because Afnan, I'm not sure exactly where they curate their oils, but the quality always seems to be solid when it comes to all Afnan fragrances. And this line in particular, 9 p.m., big fan of that one. Never tried the original 9 a.m. But 9 a.m. Dive, very beautiful blue, aquatic, fresh citrus. There's a little bit of a ginger, fresh, spicy tone. There's a darkness in the backdrop, a subtle nuance, a warmth as it dries, a woody presence. There's more nuance to this fragrance than you may initially think. It actually opens up really nice on skin. Some will get better performance than others. I've been getting about average performance in that 5 to 6 hour range, which for like a $30 to $35 fragrance that smells this good, it's pretty hard to complain. You might want to check this one out this year. It's a pretty new release, pretty new to my collection. Afnan, 9 a.m. Dive. Here's one that doesn't get enough love, and honestly, it's my favorite version of YSL L'homme. We're talking about L'homme Le Parfum. You know, shame on me, I don't wear it enough. I need to reach back in my collection. I'm going to put this one on the rotation table after I'm done recording and throw it back on the table because it's a more full-bodied, slightly fresh, spicier take on the original. Still maintains a lot of that freshness, a little bit of that ginger tone, but here it's a more dense, woody presence. There's a little bit of lightly powdery tone to it. Very beautiful fragrance. Not real heavy on the citrus. There's a little bit of citrus at top. It does smell like L'homme, just a thicker, denser take on it, Le Parfum. It's not the exact same formula, but like I said, it smells of the DNA, so it's a true flanker. I like when they do that because YSL is notorious for kind of, you know, making flankers that don't really tie to the namesake. Whereas here, they actually did a really good job. It's an above-average performer. Not a beast by any means. Very few fragrances from them are beastly. We do have one from them that's beastly later on in this video. But if you haven't tried this one yet, maybe you're missing out. I'm not saying it's the greatest blue fragrance out there, but in my opinion, it's good enough to make this year's recommendation of 10 for the year of 2023. So while it's still in production, because you know it's never a sure thing when they're going to discontinue something in the L'homme or La Nuit de L'homme line. So you might want to get your nose on this one. Get a sample, get a decant, some kind of way. If it's at a fragrance counter where they sell YSL fragrances and they have a tester, spray it on your skin, spend a little time with it, because you might be surprised with this one. It's, like I said, it's my favorite version of L'homme. And it's Yves Saint Laurent L'homme Le Parfum. Definitely the most expensive fragrance in this video, but, you know, while I do think the Parfum version of this fragrance does smell better, it's just so much more expensive. So if you really want to get the joy of what this scent profile can bring, you can always grab the Parfum Cologne version of Roja Parfum's Elysium. You know, I know this is kind of out of the realm of what some people want to spend. I know there's a lot of clones and inspired by fragrances out there that do a good job. But if you're looking for the magic that this fragrance really does bring in its scent profile, you should really get this one. Get a sample and try it. Make sure it's for you. It's not a beast. For me, slightly above average in longevity, not super strong projector, but a lovely sillage. Some people get worse performance. Some people get better. I actually get in that 6 to 7 hour range on my skin with this, with a solid projection for about an hour and a half. I've done a full review on this one in the past. Just magic, metallic, sweet, dense fruits. A lot of bright citrus, light herbs. This is special. A lot of people will compare it as an alternative to Aventus, though I don't get much relation here to Aventus. It kind of stands on its own. But when it comes to niche, quality blue fragrances, this is one of the best smelling ever created. I don't know if I could ever pull it from this list, to be honest with you. Even if I did 5, I think I would still have to include it because the compliment factor is just so high for most people. Obviously not going to be the case for every single person. Everybody's situation is different. But I'll tell you what, this is great. Ladies love the way this one smells, guys. The proof is in the pudding. Get yourself a sample. Spend some time with it next time you're going to a party, a gathering, a family get-together, going out to dinner. Use that sample. Spray a few sprays all over your body. And try this one out. You may end up wanting to get this bottle this year because 2023 might be the year that you finally commit to it, or maybe it's a pass. But if you don't try it and get the experience, because Elysium is an experience worth having. It's probably the best smelling fragrance in this video, if we're being honest. But at the same time, it is the most expensive. So choose wisely. Sample first, but in my opinion, one that you should definitely get your nose on, if nothing else, in 2023, if you haven't yet, is Elysium Parfum Cologne from Roja Parfums. One of my favorite affordable cheapy discoveries of last year. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's kind of a poor man's Chanel Allure Sport. It is from Missoni. This is Missoni Wave. Like I said, this was one of my favorite discoveries and pickups of 2022. I picked this up for $32 at a TJ Maxx. They're still popping up at the rack stores in that realm of that price point. Online, you're looking at $40 to $50, which still isn't bad. It's an above average performer. Beautiful. It's fresh. It's aquatic. It's got this vanilla orchid, sweet floral, creamy floral type of tone to it. It's a little soapy and aromatic. It's got a woodsy note, but it still maintains this aquatic feel. High complement factor DNA. Super versatile, shines more in the warmer weather. I would say this is really a 3-season fragrance: spring, summer, fall, especially if you live in a warmer climate. You can rock this one year round. And like I said, more than likely, you're going to get a compliment here and there. I'm not saying it's going to happen every time you wear it. You may be one of those guys that says, I never get a compliment from anything. Well, the probability of scent profiles like this does raise the chance, though nothing can guarantee anything. This is really good stuff. I really, really like this one. Tempted to get a backup bottle. That little bit of level that I've dropped it on, if you know anything about the size of my collection, we're in the 4 digits, over 1,000 at this point. For me to, knock it down half an inch, third of an inch on a 100 ml bottle, that's impressive for my collection. And once spring rolls around, you're going to see, those of you that watch my weekly rotation videos, you'll see this one jumping back in there, because this is one of my favorite Bleu fragrances. This had to be in this video, and I really believe you should get your nose on this one this year. Again, that's Missoni Wave. While this one is on the more affordable side, because we did see this spike in price not too long after I got it last year. Another one of my favorite discoveries of 2022 is Rasasi Hawas. While nothing new to a lot of people, it was new to me. You see that dent? Again, I went on a stretch of wearing this one pretty good. I was spraying it pretty often, and I don't do more than 4 sprays because this is a monster on my skin. This is a February 2022 manufacture date. I got several friends with several different batches, old batches, new batches. They're all beast. Your situation and your experience may vary, but this stuff, man, it's basically spicy Invictus. If Invictus was a Middle Eastern fragrance, boom, here you go. It's Rasasi Hawas. Another one, compliment machine. Your nose will wear out. Big, hefty sillage, strong projection, long lasting. Like I said, it takes Invictus, not necessarily Invictus Aqua. Picture the sweet aquatic tone of the original Invictus and add some spices, almost a little bit of an incense feel even. It gives that Middle Eastern vibe, the smoky, spicy tone. Even though there's no incense or smoky note of any kind, that's how it acts on my skin. As you can see, I got pretty excited pretty quickly to talk about this one because this stuff is fan-frickin-tastic. You can get it in the $40 to $50 range. Believe me, that's on the affordable side for this. We saw it go last year as high as $70, $80, almost $90. Don't pay that. If you can find this in the $40 to $50 range, it's a great pickup at that point. It is on the more chemically synthetic side. It does not have a natural smell, but out in the air, whew, man, this stuff is fantastic. Don't let the purple juice fool you. This is a Bleu fragrance through and through. Like I said, citrus, sweet, aquatic, spicy, and woodsy. Just mag-frickin-nificent. Rasasi Hawas. Super underrated. And I may be the only one that can appreciate this one. When I got it, it was all over the place on eBay, discounters online for around $34 to $36. That's the range I paid. I don't remember exactly. I want to say I paid $34. But it's a gorgeous, almost iced orange, aromatic, soapy lavender fragrance. A lot of orange and lavender. It is Mercedes-Benz Club Bleu. I actually did a full review on this one last year. I picked it up. I slept on this one for a long time because you'll see a lot of mixed reviews online that'll detour you. They'll turn you off. But this is a perfect example of what not paying attention to what everyone else says, including me. Don't necessarily take my opinion to heart. Try it for yourself if you can. But I love the way this fragrance smells. This is one of my favorite from Mercedes. And I have a ton of fragrances from Mercedes. I really do. I have a lot. We're talking 12 to 15 fragrances from them. That's a lot from one house. And it's so good. It's simplistic. It's a fresh blue aromatic. Citruses is a big star and proponent for this. It's a synthetic orange, so it does last longer than your typical natural citrus will. Average performance, not a beast here, but I'll tell you what, on a warm, hot, sunny summer day, this has a cooling effect to it. It doesn't get real cloying for being lavender heavy, and like I said, it smells really good. The versatility is way up there. This works casually perfect, great day off scent, lounging around, running errands, going shopping, and then perfect for work settings. Indoor, outdoor, office setting, doesn't matter. Super versatile. Really, really clean fragrance that's easy to like. Underrated. Underrated. You see this one out there for cheap. I'm going to try to find links to all of this to try to, help you guys out as much as I can. And if I can find a link for this one, I will put it down there because somebody else besides me needs to experience this because this stuff, super underrated. Really, really good. Mercedes-Benz Club Bleu. Now, some will argue that they like other flankers in this line, and I get it, but when it comes down to just performance and smell alone, the two biggest factors for most people, from Yves Saint Laurent Y line, we're talking about the Eau de Parfum. Yes, I do love the EDT, both versions, the old one and the new one. I love the Le Parfum. I'm going to get a bottle this year. My decant's almost out. The Le Parfum's amazing. Live, fantastic. Invictus meets YSLY. Eau Fraiche, warm ginger lemon smell. Kind of changed the DNA a little bit. Beautiful. Magnificent fragrance. But the Eau de Parfum, it's sweet. It's fresh and fruity. It's a little salty, slightly aquatic from this musky ambergris tone. It's woodsy. It's aromatic. It's got a clean, light undertone of fresh spice. It's a magnet for attention because the scent profile is great and the performance matches it. This is a monster performer. This is a beast. This 60 ml bottle, that's all I need. It's going to last me a long time. This stuff is strong, guys. Beautiful. God, a little bit metallic even at the top. You know, it's on the chemically synthetic side, again, but it works in every situation. This is a year-round scent, though not my favorite in the summer. I do like the fresher takes on this DNA for the summer, but spring, fall, winter, this is a stud. Mindful of your sprays if you work in an indoor setting and you want to wear this fragrance. Like I said, it's really strong. You'll be surprised. You'll go anosmic to it because of the man-made synthetic oils that are in here, but it's overwhelming. The area, again, the stronger ones kind of prevail when I spray them in the air. They'll hang out for a little while. And this is one of them. God, it smells good in my little airspace right now. If for some reason at this point you haven't tried this one yet, you're doing yourself a disservice. This is wildly popular for good reason, because it's a great fragrance. It's one of the best blue fragrances ever created. So get your nose on it. If for some reason you're new to this, I understand why you haven't got your nose on it yet. If you've been into this hobby for a while, you have no excuse. This year might be the time. YSLY, EDP. Last but not least, this might be the best blue fragrance of all time. It's definitely the best blue fragrance line. It's part of the best line because some people argue for the EDP. Some people argue for the EDT. Chanel, we need the Elixir version in 2023. But I'm still a big advocate for Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Zesty lemon, warm woods. That's simple, guys. Gorgeous. Rich because it's a high oil concentration, not loud, a bit more subdued, refined, classy blue fragrance. Great suit and tie, business professionals blue fragrance right here with Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Gorgeous. Oh, it's so good. The Isoi Super is not overdone. There's cashmere wood, there's sandalwood, I believe there's cedar. Like, there's a lot of woods and it's got a warming effect. It's fine in the summer. I've wore this in high Houston heat outdoors. It works great in the cooler weather. God, it's beautiful. It's not real loud, but it's rich and refined. Like I said, it takes that Bleu de Chanel DNA, that versatility, that freshness that people just love. Like I said, this fragrance line is going to define the genre and a generation. When it comes to blue fragrances, Bleu de Chanel is the pinnacle. I'm sorry. Yes, I love Sauvage and Y and all these other ones too. This line's the pinnacle. That's why we need an elixir this year. Chanel, we need Bleu de Chanel elixir. But for the time being, if you haven't gotten your nose on the Parfum, yeah, it's pricey. It's pricey because you're not going to find these at discounters. You're going to need to find them at retailers. And at best, you can get coupon codes at retailers certain times of the year. But the beauty of it is you can go to these retailers and try it on your skin. Because that's what I did. I went back and forth to Sephora, Macy's, and Ulta for a while to decide which one is the one. And I kept gravitating to this one. That's why I bought this one at full retail a few years ago. It is awesome. It's almost the perfect blue fragrance for me personally because I don't have to have super loud all the time. It's magnificent to smell. It dresses up, it dresses down, and it's literally as signature scent as it gets because it's all year, all seasoned. There's never, and I'm sorry, I don't care the situation, the attire, the weather, the setting, you name the obstacle, Bleu de Chanel Parfum will shine. One of the best blue fragrances ever. If you haven't tried in 2023, you're missing out. I'm just saying it. Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Well, that's the 10 that I have for you today. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Because I do appreciate all the feedback. And I love hearing from you guys. What in this video have you tried? Do you own? Have you sampled before? Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree with what I said? We can all respectfully disagree with one another. Or does some of this stuff intrigue you or pique your interest where you're like, you know what? I need to try them this year. Because 2023, there's no better time than the present, right? Until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the 10 featured in this video and you give them a spray now, I'm extremely confident you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.